The Peneligan estate is a sprawling, gothic monument to old money and older grudges. Tonight, under cold blue floodlights, the annual birthday gala functions as a strategic display of Harrington dominance, intended to overawe the county's social elite. Tucked away in the dimmest corner of this party, half hidden behind a marble column, is the man who technically hosts it. Arthur Peneligan stands with a glass of lukewarm champagne, watching the theater of his own misery play out in real time. Over the course of a decade, Arthur's marriage has become an exercise in psychological endurance. His wife, Serafina, has weaponized her charm. She and her family, the Harringtons, operate a dynasty of disdain. Because Arthur comes from modest origins and possesses a gentle demeanor, the family views him not as an equal, but as a domestic pet to kick whenever the mood strikes. This flowchart maps out exactly how they apply that cruelty in practice. Arthur poured his soul into a modest shipping logistics startup. To guarantee his failure, his father-in-law, Lord Harrington, quietly bought out his primary supplier and intentionally choked his cash flow. The venture collapsed. Lord Harrington then takes that engineered failure and actively broadcasts it. He turns the bankruptcy into a favorite cocktail hour anecdote, loudly mocking Arthur's lack of killer instinct to ensure his son-in-law is publicly humiliated. Lady Harrington uses a more surgical approach. She relentlessly polices his appearance, scanning his clothes until she finds a microscopic, nearly invisible, frayed thread on his left cuff. To her, this tiny imperfection is enough evidence to publicly berate him for failing to wash away the scent of the middle class. Arthur's daily life is a meticulously constructed trap. His abusers use then vast capital to build a localized environment where he has zero leverage, successfully eroding his dignity through 1,000 calculated cuts. A sudden, heavy hush falls over the ballroom as a sleek, armored Maybach glides silently up the drive. It ignores the designated parking, stopping precisely at the grand entrance to block the central fountain. The string quartet trails off as the vehicle's presence commands immediate, undisputed priority. The man who steps out of the car carries an air of absolute, clinical authority. He confidently walks into the grand foyer and parts the crowd of wealthy socialites as easily as water, making the room full of imposing aristocrats look remarkably small. His name is Elias Thorne, a senior partner from a Swiss law firm. He announces to the silenced room that he is here to represent the estate of Arthur's maternal great-uncle, a deeply reclusive man named Alistair Finch. Serafina instantly tries to reassert her family's social dominance. She interrupts Thorne to scoff at the name, loudly dismissing Finch as a penniless lunatic and a dead beggar who has no business interrupting her birthday event. She is attempting to use the exact same tactics that keep Arthur subjugated. But Elias Thorne represents a highly improbable external variable, a statistical outlier that the Harrington family's localized wealth can neither predict, buy out, nor control. This diagram illustrates Thorne's swift, clinical correction. Alistair Finch did not die a pauper. He was a man of extraordinary global foresight who amassed massive holdings across Zurich, London, Tokyo, and New York. And as of 3 hours ago, he legally transferred his entire international estate to a single heir, Arthur Peneligan. Thorne delivers the precise valuation to the room. The liquid asset and corporate holdings bring the conservative total of Arthur's inheritance to £2,400,000,000. To grasp the physical impact of that number, look at it placed next to the Harrington estate. The wealth Serafina's family wielded as a weapon for generations is instantly swallowed by the shadow of $2.4 billion. Arthur is propelled into a stratosphere of the global elite that makes his abusers look mathematically irrelevant. This is an immediate, calculated inversion of power. The exact tool the Harringtons used to keep Arthur caged has been neutralized in seconds by an exponentially larger sum. The sheer scale of the number hits the ballroom with physical force. A crystal champagne flute slips and shatters against the parquet floor. Lord Harrington's face turns a mottled gray. His hand is shaken so violently he has to abandon his drink. Seraphina's own flawless composure breaks. The arrogant smirk falls away into a grotesque, twitching display of disbelief and raw terror, as her brain catches up to the reality that the man she tormented is now her undisputed master. For Arthur, the invisible bands that constricted his lungs suddenly snap. The heavy psychological weight of the mocked business ventures and the constant, suffocating humiliation evaporates from his chest, leaving behind a cold, razor-sharp clarity. Seraphina takes a trembling step forward, desperately trying to call him darling. Arthur simply looks at her and offers a slow, deliberate smile. As he calmly adjusts his cuff, ignoring the microscopic frayed thread that caused him so much anxiety an hour ago, he projects a chillingly serene authority and a silent promise of absolute retribution. He turns to Mr. Thorne, politely requests his car be brought around, and walks away. He doesn't raise his voice or acknowledge the Harringtons' frantic sycophancy. The terrified crowd simply parts for him in absolute silence. The Harrington family only ever communicated through capital and leverage. With a fortune that dwarfs their own, Arthur is the loudest voice in the room. He has transitioned from a target of their cruelty to the man who holds their entire lineage in his hands.